Welcome back. You're watching Lead India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. A 51-year-old doctor from Saudi Arabia, Talib A, went on trial in Germany earlier this week. He was accused of ramming his highly motorized rental car into visitors of Magdeburg's Christmas market last December, killing 6 and injuring 344. According to a court spokesperson, Talib A could face the maximum penalty under German law. That would be life imprisonment in addition to a finding of particular severity of guilt and possibly subsequent preventive detention. And DW correspondent Hans Brandt from Berlin has more. Hi Hans, what more do we know about the accused and his motives for the attack?
Well, yes, as you said, he was a doctor. He is a doctor from Saudi Arabia who came to Germany to specialize as a psychiatrist. And in fact, he worked as a psychiatrist in prisons for many years. He was fairly well known in certain sectors of German society amongst refugee organizations, for instance, because he was helping refugees, especially from Saudi Arabia and other countries on the Arab Peninsula who came to Germany. And he also had a very prominent social media profile. But he was also known as somebody who was difficult, who was a troublemaker. He got into disputes with the authorities. There were some meetings with the police occasionally, and also court cases involving some of the refugee agencies that he was in contact with. And he has in fact been speaking in court for hours and hours on end and explained that he had planned this attack for more than a year, and that his motivation had to do with his dissatisfaction about how the German authorities took his complaints about various matters and about his interaction with refugee agencies.
Also, Hans, if you could tell us what can we expect from the trial?
Yes, the trial has just been started recently. It is to be expected that the accused will continue talking for many, many hours. It seems that he wants to give a comprehensive statement, although what he has been saying so far has been pretty difficult to understand and at times quite confused. And there have been some skirmishes with the judge who has been telling the accused what he can say and how much he can say and what is allowed in court, what is not allowed in court. It's a court case that is one of the biggest in Germany since the end of the Second World War, because it involves so many people that were affected by this terrible action. There are almost 200 co-complainants, and a special courtroom had to be built for all of them to be accommodated. It's likely to go on for many, many months, probably well into next year. But it's almost certain that the accused will be found guilty and will be sentenced to life imprisonment as well as security detention because of the severity of that case.
All right, Hans, also Christmas is just a few weeks away now and markets are set to open soon. Is there concern that they could be targeted again?
Yes, indeed. There's always been concern on Christmas markets, especially since an attack here in Berlin in 2016 with a truck that drove into a Christmas market and killed more than a dozen people. Since then, security at such markets has been increased by order of the authorities. But obviously this market in Magdeburg, just over almost a year ago, the security was lacking because that person was able to drive his car into that market and more than 300 people were affected, were injured, and some of them killed. This year, the concern is that security could indeed again be an issue. The market in Magdeburg itself has not, in fact, yet been given permission to reopen this year because authorities still have doubts about whether security can be increased enough. But in the city, people there want the market to take place this year, also as a sign against this attacker, as a sign that they want to continue celebrating this occasion. So yes, security at Christmas markets will be an issue this year.
All right, Hans Brandt, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs. Moving on, US President Donald Trump urged Israeli President Isaac Herzog to consider